I'm Ray Jean, and this is Riley, and welcome to my show. I hope you're having a good day, and if you're not, I hope this show, if you stick around to the end, that you feel a whole lot better about your day. Believe me, I know the world's hard now, and everybody seems to be sad or angry or depressed, and those that aren't, they're looking around and noticing everybody around them are. Not enough jobs, etc. The homes are crazy, but we won't get into all that right now. What I'm here to talk to you about is how to make your life better, how to smile again, how to feel good about yourself again, to realize what your purpose really is in life. I think we all got caught up in the mess of politicians and picking sides, and it seems like something or someone out there wants everybody against everybody else, mothers and fathers and kids against parents and parents against kids, friends against friends, family against, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's against each other. But I remember when I was growing up, everybody had a smile on their face. Kids played outside with smiles on their face, and yeah, there was those kind of ornery kids sometimes, but they still had a smile on their face. Now so much has changed. And excuse Riley snoring, please. I'm sorry, he kind of does that sometimes. He doesn't mean to. I'll try to stop him when I notice it, but I'm so used to it. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell you my story, how I changed from being sad and angry, and how I put a smile back on my face after you have no idea what I've been through. Any one of those things would drive somebody else, I don't know, into a deep depression, but I've got to say God's the one that's picked me out of it. Um, if you've watched any of my other shows, you might know that I love God with all my heart, and I didn't always live the right way, but I don't know. I had some life-changing moments when I realized that all the things that I had wanted for myself and gotten for myself wasn't really what I wanted. What I really wanted was to be loved. And I realize now that God's love. And without him, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was relying on men to take care of me and love me. And I don't know, I never felt like I got that kind of love that I was needing so bad. But God put me on a different path here recently when I went through a breakup. I decided to change my thoughts, the things that I watched on TV. That's my kitty cat, sorry. I decided to watch more positive things on TV. And I mean, this is weeks later, and if you'll look at me then and you'll look at me in this video, you'll notice probably that I look happier. Maybe even a little healthier because I'm happier. But what did it was, I don't know. It's like I decided to reprogram myself. I was tired of all the anger on TV and the sadness. Everybody's cheating on everybody. Everybody's offing everybody, and everybody's against everybody. The world's against the world right now. But I decided to watch more positive stuff. Movies from the 70s, 80s, 90s, different shows and programs from back then. I'm sorry, it's just my kitty cat. He found a can. She found a can of cat food she's tossing around. I hope it's not annoying to you. Hopefully she'll get bored with it quickly. She usually does. What you doing? Anyway, I've changed my whole life ever since I decided to turn my life back to God 100% instead of on a man. Usually I go through a breakup and I heal and I'm out meeting people and going on dates, and before you know it, a date turns into we're in a relationship, and then you're living together, and then sometimes there's arguing and complaining, and some people just, I don't know. Some people don't live well with others, and I guess I must be one of them because I just don't take anything from anybody anymore because I have too many times, and I got a little tired of it. So this time when I went through a breakup, I decided, sorry, just trying to play with the cord to the light here. The stand I have that my daughter bought me, and if she's watching me, thank you, I love you. Thank you so much. And, but the main thing that I changed, as I was trying to say, is I'm reprogramming my whole way of thinking. I'm starting to do things that make me happy again. And I'm watching, there's this one girl, Estelle. I like watching her a lot. There's a few different girls out there I like watching. But there was a time where, I was brought up in a church, and then I grew up and went my own way. Like, I don't need that. That's, old-fashioned ways of thinking, and I don't quite believe those ways because it was Pentecostal. So I decided to go out and branch off and learn about different religions. And as I did that, I learned, every one of them thinks the other one's going to go to hell. And I just think if they all kind of put their beliefs together, there might be a really good religion. But I think that everybody's got the same thing in mind. Let's do our best so that we can make it home. But a lot of people have gotten off track like I did. I was working in bars and hanging in them too much and dating too much. And I was trying really hard to focus on my family and taking very good care of them. But I still, when they went to their dads or something, I liked to just go dance and break free. I was like 15 when I got pregnant, like 2 weeks before my 16th birthday, by a man that was 6 years older than me. And I won't get into everything that happened, but due to my religious beliefs, I needed to marry him. And I did, and that's where my life took a nosedive. I wish I would have stayed in church. I wish I would have stayed with the people I knew there, and maybe I would have married one of them and had a much better life. But, well, I had to have the fun life. Party. I need fun. Too much church. I'm ready for fun. And all that fun did was give me drug addicts and alcoholics and abusive men. Life has not been easy. And yes, I can smile now because to me, that's a person I don't even know anymore. I don't even know that girl. I've changed so much through time. But now that I'm older, all I can do is, well, I'm getting out of that too. But here, not too long ago, like the last month or two, like everything in my life that I had ever said or done wrong, like was coming back to me. Due to a ruptured aneurysm, I lost a lot of my memories. So now that I'm remembering some of them, I'm not very happy with some of the things and some of the choices that I made. Some of the things that I did and the choices I made. I thought I was doing the best at that time for myself. I never tried to take advantage or hurt anybody. I just fell in love too easy and liked to party and have fun. And it got me more drug addicts and more alcoholics. But I am putting that in the trash can. My dog is, I'm kind of getting his fur kind of riled up there. Anyway, I got into this last relationship and it really taught me a lot. It taught me that I've searched and searched for love for years, and I certainly didn't find what I was looking for. Kindness, tenderness, I don't know, concern, care. Seems like everybody's working so hard in life, it's hard for people to actually give time to each other the proper way. And as we get older, everybody's has problems, they hurt. So it makes us grouchy, I get it. But I went through an awful lot of pain with my back. I mean, 20 years of it. And I don't ever remember being mean to somebody because of it. Matter of fact, I still tried to smile. Just because I'd rather smile. And my face was turning into a permanent frown from the pain. So I would try to say funny things to make others smile, because then they would laugh and it would make me smile. I don't know. I do my best to be happy. I fight the evil. I fight the anger and the negativity. And I recently wrote a book about it, and I'm hopefully going to go tomorrow and get it finally printed. And I'm going to get it probably around the first of the month. It's going to get copyrighted. But, well, I'm going to send off for that. It takes 2 or 3 months to get that back. But it's really for kids and young people, even kids and teenagers. I've known adults that have really changed their mind about their own behavior just from reading my book and realizing that sometimes it's negative spirits that jump you. And I know that sounds crazy. Please don't change the channel yet. But when you're around angry or negative people, sometimes that's a spirit attached. And that spirit can jump from them to you. And you don't realize that it's there. And it talks about a little girl who lets somebody in when her parents aren't home, and that little girl had a spirit attached to her. She seemed friendly, but apparently, she threw a temper tantrum and stormed out of the house after cheating, playing a game, etc. But anyway, it left spirits behind. It left a spirit behind who invited more spirits. And the spirit of sadness was left behind, and then she invited her friend Envy, and then they started inviting all their spirit friends and had a big party. And only one could see that there were spirits there. Only one. And her name was Hope. And Hope, she tried to get rid of them spirits, but she couldn't. Not until one day when she found her grandma's Bible and she started reading through it and realized that God was the one that was going to help her with this. God was going to help her. And she prayed and she read some scriptures, and before you know it, she had her parents finally believing her. After she kept getting punished for that every time she'd mention them. They didn't believe her. But after she read the Bible and she started praying, her parents finally lightened their heart. And after they finally listened to her and believed her, good spirits were starting to come in. The bad spirits started flying out with the prayer and the scripture being read. And the good spirits started coming in when the bad ones finally got out. But the bad ones had to go out for the good ones to come in. But they drew happiness and love and peace and kindness and goodness and mercy. All those spirits came their way. And then when Hope grew old, she told her kids and her grandkids and everyone she'd met about this story. And then when she got old, some say she passed away, but others say God turned her into the spirit of hope, that she didn't really die, that he just turned her into the spirit of hope. And that the spirit of hope means to believe in something that you cannot see. And Hope did. She kept on believing that there was a way to get rid of them spirits. I know those spirits. I'm just being relaxed and laid back, but I know proper English. But I just want you to know that sometimes we get them attached to us. And the only way you can get rid of them is to pray and to believe in God and ask Him forgiveness for the things you did. Ask Him to live in your life. Live in you. Use your feet to take you where He needs you to go. Your hands to do what you need Him to do. Use your ears to hear what He needs you to say, what He needs you to hear. And your mouth to say what you need to say. Use your eyes to see what you need Him to see. To use your eyes so that you can see what He needs you to see. Use you to help others. That's what we're really here for. You know that, right? We're not here for the marriage and all the kids. Those are a great part of our life, especially when they're done right. That's where I think I got a piece of fur on my mouth there. But I think the main reason that we are here is to try to figure out how to get along. Because there's been all these wars since the beginning of time. If we could end the wars and end the hate and end the prejudice, which makes no sense at all. It makes no sense for white people to be prejudiced against black people, other than when black people might be attacking us. For the simple fact, what I don't understand why they've kept it a secret, but it's a big religion secret, guys, I'm coming out with right now. And if you've made it this far, thank you for sticking around. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up, subscribe. You'll probably be my first subscriber, well, one of my first couple, and help my channel to grow. But I found out recently that the Ethiopian Bible is 7,000 years old. White humans have only existed for 4,000, that they've found so far anyway, 4,000 years. So what had happened, I guess, back in Mesopotamia and out Middle East, people started moving further north and their skin started getting lighter. And then it started turning white patches and dark patches, kind of like that vitiligo. I believe that's what it's called. And then white people just started showing up. But do you know what that means? See, if the Ethiopian Bible, sorry, it's cats. If the Ethiopian Bible is actually 7,000 years old, and it wasn't changed because of Constantine and King James and everyone else that's come along and manipulated and changed words and taken complete books out of the Bible. See, the Ethiopian version of the Old Testament is about 4 inches thick. And ours is not even an inch thick. You chill out, buddy. He's got his nervous habits. But in there, it talks about Jesus being brown-skinned, dark, curly hair. And I picture him to be Middle Eastern. I've always pictured that. And people, oh no, Jewish people are white. But according to their Bible, he was their books, their records, I'm sorry, and their actual Bible was before Jesus was born, but from their records, apparently Jesus visited Ethiopia, and they say brown hair, curly, dark brown eyes, or brown eyes and dark skin. So anyway, if all of that's true and you've been prejudiced, you might want to get on your knees. I thank God I was brought up in a church that we just loved everybody, and we had people black and white in our church. I never thought anything about it. I really never did. And then to get out to such prejudice, I haven't seen, I've got to be honest, I haven't seen nearly as much prejudice from white people against black people as black people against white people. And if you're black, I'm sorry, but it's true. In school, we weren't beating up the black people. Black people were chasing after us, man. You just look their way, I'm going to kick your butt. But I love you all. I love everybody. I don't like mean people. That's what I say. I'm prejudiced against mean people. Always have been. But if you've been prejudiced against black people, you might want to get on your knees and say some prayers. And, you know, I don't believe in prejudice. I don't understand it. We're all the same on the inside. It's a color of a skin. Who cares? But anyway, I love you, everybody. I don't care, black, white, yellow, purple. I don't care. If you're good people, I love you. Love you. I'll do anything for you that I possibly could. If it's in my capability, I would do it. Then anyway, so if 4,000 years of white humans and Noah and his grandparents and Adam and Eve were way before white people, then I got news for y'all. That was an African continent's original, well, actually, Adam and Eve, I've already heard that's where they started, over there. In the area near where the rivers all met over there, near the Euphrates River and I want to say Bashan. I know that's probably wrong. Anyway, there's like 4 rivers coming together, and they recently found that area, and it's around the Egyptian and Iraq area. Now they're finding out that's where, like, King Solomon and King David had come from, was Iran. So you're prejudiced against the Muslims, may have problems. But the brothers in these families separated and worshipped differently. And it really started with Abraham when he had 2 sons. The first one that he had with the maid, and he sent her off when he had his other kid. And, you know, he sent off Ishmael with the maid that he had the baby with, because his wife couldn't have kids, she didn't think. And then she had a baby, and once it hit about 10 years old, she's like, you got to get rid of her. No, she's not going to get your inheritance, our kid, or your legitimate son is. You got to send her off. And so he did. He sent her off with some water and some food and sent him out into the desert. And that's where that side and the Muslims started. You know, and maybe it was God, maybe it was the devil himself had led Ishmael's mother to water to save Ishmael because they were dying of thirst. And that became their God. Again, I don't know. Some say it's not the same God, but I think originally, I think we had the same God. And I think that, I don't know, the maid, she had, I'm telling you, that it could have been a demon. It could have been the devil himself. Who knows? But to them, that's God. And they're just as strong about their God as we are about ours. And I'm getting ready to cut this shorter, because it's getting kind of long. I didn't mean for it to get this long. But I just want y'all to understand, the Bible's a little different than you think. The God that we know after Jesus comes along and learns how to be human, God lives in him and loves through him. He learns forgiveness. He forgave us. That's why he died on the cross. That was so that we could be forgiven. And I was looking up last night, you know, there's, I think it's over 300 scriptures in the Bible about forgiveness. 300. About God's forgiveness. And I lived a bad life, and God recently decided to start using me, and I know he did. And that's a different, you can look at the last video, and maybe it'll tell you a little bit more about that. But God's guiding me into a whole different life, and all I had to do was say, you know what? I'm tired of living for myself. I want to do what you want me to do. I'm tired of all the nonsense I'm putting in my brain. If the government can reprogram me, like Hillary Clinton says, it's time to reprogram them. That means we've been programmed before. So I decided to reprogram myself, watching religious things and things about Israel. I'm watching this one lady, Aline, A-L-I-N-E. Anyway, she takes you through the desert and different places where Jesus has been, or where King Solomon was, or where Jesus was buried. I know I've seen many different ones on some of this stuff, but this girl's knowledge is amazing. I know I'm not going to find it right now. I'll try to, I don't know, something align and, or look up, what was one of the ones I watched? Where Goliath lived or something to that effect. And then put a line first and then where Goliath lived. A-L-I-N-E again. Anyway, she's amazing. But watch amazing things. Watch things that make you happy. Stop watching all the nonsense. We can watch this government stuff all day long, and you know what? Unless you're a politician, there is nothing you can do about it. My word, your words, us complaining has done nothing. The poor are getting more poor, and the rich are getting richer. And I'm not going to go either way on the politician stuff. I think there was a lot of bad and good in both sides. But I will say, I wish Donald Trump would please help the homeless and help those that can't afford to live anymore. This is getting crazy out here. And I feel for every one of you. Some of you might be watching in a car. That's where you live, or your van, or a tent. Some of you might be on the brink of that happening. And all it takes is missing a work week, a work month, being really ill. Don't look down on the homeless. It could be me, it could be you. Help them when you see them out. Don't make fun of them. Don't make them feel bad that they're standing there or that they asked. If you don't have it, say, no, I don't have it, I'm sorry. Give them a smile, but I'll say a prayer for you. That's something. Let's stop being mean and hateful to each other. Learn how to love your neighbors because, you know, they might be the only one to have your back. Learn how to apologize to your family. One day they might be all you have. They might be all you have now. But if they're abusive to you, you have to step back. But if it's a quarrel, I mean, I've had a small quarrel end up in a divorce. You know, you got to choose your words lightly. Be kind to each other. Think before you speak. Talk to God more often. Anytime you have a problem, try not to concentrate on the problem. Write it down. Pray to God. And when that problem's solved, right underneath it, solved. It's done. I say every problem is like a puzzle. You just gotta put the pieces in the right place. But if you're a nervous wreck, you can't do that. But when you calm down, you can find ways to fix this puzzle to work. But if we're a hysterical nervous wreck, that puzzle's gonna lie there and none of the pieces are gonna get put together. Try to breathe. Stay calm. Remember, this is like school, guys. We're getting ready to go home. Some people think heaven, and I don't believe. I believe some get to go to heaven like the guy on the cross next to Jesus that day, because he said, you'll be in heaven with me today, because he had so much faith in Jesus. You gotta have faith when you pray, guys. If you don't have faith when you pray, you don't get much done. You gotta see it in your head and say thank you. So, I love you, God. Get her done. Believe. You can't get nothing done if you're thinking negative. Negative is going to happen if you think negative. But if you think positive and you keep God close to you and you change your negative thoughts and beliefs and things you watch, your life will start changing. Tell God you want him to tell you what to do. Go feed the homeless if you can. A food kitchen on the weekends. Donate to a food kitchen or a pantry. Do what you can do to help. Our government's not helping us all much. all of us, as I said, are a problem away from living homeless. Even the rich people, a divorce, a company falling apart. It can happen to anybody. Rich people have been on the streets. They lost everything. Have a heart for the homeless. Don't be cruel. Be kind. If you see somebody that needs a helping hand, they're a few dollars short at the store, whatever, man. Pitch in. Make the world a better place. We all need each other. Someday I'll tell you a story. If you stick around my channel, I'll tell you a story about me and how I know all this firsthand. That God's there to do everything for you if you allow Him to. He's there to help you to do everything. He's not there to do everything for you. But His miracles, oh my gosh, they've been amazing in my life. It just took me a while to realize my path. I was on the wrong one. And now I get to smile again because I'm on the right one. So get on the right path, guys. We're at 31 minutes here. I'm tired of taking up your time there. Don't want to do that too long. I know everybody's got a busy life. But God bless you all. If you stuck around this long, I really do pray that God does, that He blesses you good. Because I hope this message blesses you. I hope He blesses you through me if you keep continuing to watch, because I tell you, I truly believe sometimes He talks through me. So sometimes I've got some really neat things to say. I hope you'll go back and maybe watch some of my other shows. And maybe if a few people will watch them, I might build this channel up. If you'll watch it, thumbs up and share. If you know anybody that can use this today or tomorrow. If it's too late to send tonight. But God bless you all. Much love to you. Sorry about Riley's snore. Again, I don't really notice it too much. I'm just used to it though. So have a good night, good day, good morning, whatever it is. Till next time. Bye.